Have you ever wondered why the church? I mean, what's the purpose? Why do we need it? I've got to be honest, even as a pastor, sometimes I've wondered this very question. I've wondered, that is, until I uncovered the answer to that question as I was reading through the book of Matthew. And I can't wait to share the answer with you. But before I do that, there's something you should know about the author of the book of Matthew that might surprise you. You see, the author of Matthew didn't know he was writing another book of the Bible. Can you believe it? He had no idea. In fact, he would be shocked to know that his gospel would be stuck in a leather-bound book surrounded by other writings and called the Holy Bible, and that it would be read by millions of people over thousands of years. Now, you see, when the author of Matthew sat down to write, he was writing in order to address a very immediate and urgent need of the church. His original readers were Jews who had heard about Jesus, and they were in crisis. How do we incorporate our Jewish customs and traditions into the new reality of our newfound Christian faith? Well, lucky for us, he addresses this issue head on by answering our question, which is why? Why the church? Why our traditions? Why worship? Chapters 5 through 7 of Matthew are often called the Sermon on the Mount, though it often reads less like a sermon and more like a collection of instructions for that early church. The first 12 verses are often referred to of chapter 5 as the Beatitudes. Jesus, seeing the crowds, he climbs up on a mountainside. And for the author of Matthew, mountains have a special significance. Jesus is tempted on the mountain. Stories like the Transfiguration and the commissioning of the disciples all happen on a mountain. And so when Jesus climbs up on this mountain, we know something important is about to happen. Jesus climbs the mountain because it's time to make something absolutely clear. It's time for a new set of ground rules for Jesus. Like Moses climbing up Mount Sinai, it's time for a new law, a new set of guiding principles in order to clarify for those Jewish Christians why. Why the church? Why do we do what we do? Jesus wants to share the church's defining purpose. And it's interesting. What he says functions sort of, well, bear with me here, like the preamble to the Constitution. You remember that? The preamble to the Constitution answers the question, why does the U.S. exist? We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States. You remember this. The Beatitudes do the very same thing. They answer, why the church? Jesus says, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of God. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are those who hunger. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are the pure in heart. Blessed are the peacemakers. This is why the church exists. Why does the church exist? Because as followers of Jesus, Jesus came to turn the world's values upside down. And the church is the tool God uses to establish these new values. Why the church? The church is the vehicle God chose to infect the world with Jesus' upside down values, where the poor are blessed and peacemakers are held in high esteem. Those who hunger are always filled, and those who are persecuted are never forgotten. Why the church? It's God's tool for transforming the world, making the world a better place for people like you and for people like me.